All right, everyone. So this is the DJM S9. I got this early about 3 weeks ago, um, due to a glitch in a retailer's, I guess, warehouse or whatever. But anyway, I got it early. Check this out. I do have one little complaint about this mixer. It's really a great mixer. I love it so far. But there is something that I do think is kind of quirky that could probably be just simply taken care of in a firmware update with Pioneer in the near future. There's a setting in the utility that allows you to adjust the silence amount at either end of the crossfader. So like the dead space, not the fader curve. That's not what we're talking about. I actually have the crossfader. It's actually already at the tightest setting for like what a scratch DJ would use, for example. So that's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about the actual the silence or the gap that would be at the end of each end of the crossfader. You're able to adjust that in the DJM S9 setting utility. Okay. The problem is that I feel that the default setting, right now I have it to 1 millimeter, but it's about 3 millimeters, I want to say, without it connected to your laptop. But the problem is that when you disconnect your mixer from your laptop, it goes back to this default setting of 3 millimeters, and it doesn't retain the setting that you had as a preference here in the utility. So I'll show you a demonstration of this. Let me see if I can get this to the right portion. Let's see. So right now, it's just now. You can hear the that the fader is open, and this is vinyl. I'm not using DVS system right now. Old school scratch con record from 2000. Yeah, been doing this shit for a while. Check this shit out right here though. If you unplug this, so now the mixer is no longer connected. I did not move the fader at all. So it's now on the default cut-in, or I guess the silence, okay? And you can see how far of a gap that is. So I'll connect it again, and I have not touched the fader. Fader is now open again. To me, that's like, okay, they need to make the default setting a little bit closer, because if you guys have ever used like the Rain 62 and things like that, the default setting, I mean, not the default setting, but the actual setting that they have it at for that blank space, I guess, at the end, or the silence at the end, at either end of the crossfader, is much less. And, I talked to a Pioneer rep, they said, well, it is marketed towards DVS. I mean, I get that, but it's also a battle mixer, scratch mixer. I know I'm not the only scratch head out there that still cuts on vinyl a lot, and just vinyl. And sometimes I just, I come home, I want to practice. I don't want to take out my laptop sometimes, or I don't want to connect my laptop. So I do think that the default setting, I think that should be something that should be easy to update within the software with the firmware update or something. But yeah, like the default setting right now is just not the business in my opinion. But I mean, as long as I've got it connected, I can set it to 1 millimeter, which I think is like the perfect, balance point. But the default is like 3 millimeters, and I just think that cut-in is like way too much. So yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think. Take it easy.